Welcome into episode 159 of the Guru Talkin Sports Podcast. You're listening to my favorite lady singer of all time, the one and only Miss Aretha Franklin. Chain of Fools is probably one of my favorite songs because it definitely proves the fact that when we look at this NCAA bracket, most of us are fools, and we just led through a chain of fools trying to pick who is going to be in this thing and who's not going to be in it. God bless you, Aretha. I love you. I love you. All right. Well, hello, sports fans, and welcome. Welcome to, like I said again, episode 159 of the Guru Talkin Sports Podcast. I am your host, the Guru of Sports. And, like I said, this is, all these different months that we have, and they have to be, recognized. This is the last Women's History Month or whatever. I told you before, we have to celebrate women all the time, not just when it's 1 month out of the year. We celebrate them all the time. I mean, some of you guys out there have great wives and great mothers and great sisters and great companions that you celebrate all the time. I do too. I want to thank all our women and, just in general, because this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to do this every single month, every single day of the year. We celebrate our women. And I just want to say that, this is the end of this, Women's History Month. And I wanted to pay tribute to, like I said, one of my favorite singers of all time, Miss Aretha Franklin. I loved her. I loved her because she just brought so much soul and so much passion into her music. And the thing about Aretha Franklin is that I think when I was growing up, I think one of the first songs I ever heard was an Aretha Franklin song, and it might have been Chain of Fools. The Guru does go back a little bit, goes back definitely a little bit, so I definitely want to say that pay tribute to Miss Aretha Franklin. I honestly just totally loved her, and I was very, very upset when her passing, and I had a cousin named Aretha, and I wanted to celebrate her as well because she did remind me of Aretha Franklin a little bit, and my aunt was named Aretha, and so she was kind of like Aretha Jr. And like I said, I love my aunt. Aunt Aretha, and that's probably why I got so attached to Aretha Franklin. I'm not going to go get sentimental and everything on you, but I just wanted to let you guys know that, this is why, some of the things that the Guru does, has a meaning behind it, Like I said, my Aunt Aretha and my cousin Aretha are no longer with us anymore. But, like I said, they influenced me, and, I gotta say, they made me a better man, better person, and, I gotta give them all the credit I can. Love our women and treat our women with respect every single day of the year, Alright, so, what's coming up on the podcast this week? There's two. I want to start this off by saying this. There are two people I want to remember because they left us this week. Willis Reed, the captain of the 1970 and 1973 Knicks championship, passed away this year or passed away this week at age 80. And I know that, you're probably hearing this stuff again, but, like I said, this podcast only records once a week. And if I'm kind of lucky, most of the stuff I have to gather and most of the stuff that I have to research is probably a little bit of a week old. But like I said, if you hang with me, you will get some live stuff because, like I said, there's some games that are coming live and everything that I do comment on while it's happening. So, like I said, down the road, years later or so, you can say, dang, I can remember that, So, Willis Reed passed away. And also, a actor named Lance Riddick. You do know him. You might not know his name, but you can recognize his face. Passed away this week, or actually on the 17th. So this is the 26th. So I just, like I said, I caught it last Sunday, while I was watching my Sunday morning program. And if you don't remember Lance Riddick, he was in The Wire, and he was very, very car commercials. I remember him in a few car commercials, but a very noticeable actor. Plus, he was a homeboy of mine from Baltimore, Maryland. I have to, pay respect to him as well. So Lance Riddick passed away at the age of 60. Something else. It was really, really shocking. Now we have two members of that show, The Wire, that are gone. Omar, if you remember him, and the police chief in The Wire. All right. First off, how's your bracket? Now, if you told me that your bracket is in perfect shape, you're not telling me the truth. Come on now. There's nobody out there has a perfect bracket. I'm going to talk about that later. Sweet 16, I'll talk about some of the Sweet 16 games. What I saw last night from UConn was just amazing, totally amazing. Florida Atlantic. I did say something a while back about Florida Atlantic. Nobody probably knew who this team was. But the guru, remember the gurus see these things. He's always right. I kind of said that, this team might have something in them. They've won over 30 some odd games, so they're not a slouch. But out of all the teams, Furman, Fairleigh Dickinson, Princeton plays today. We'll see. We'll see what's going to happen, with them. Like I said, UConn, boy, UConn is something. And and then there were zero. There are no number one seeds left for the first time ever. No number one seeds are in the Elite Eight. Wow. Now, didn't I tell you the guru's always right? What did I say about Alabama? Told you. Karma. Karma came back. The guru is always right. When he comes to these things, I tell you guys, watch these things. The guru did tell you that Alabama was not going to win anything. And I did say that. I will prove it. And I will let you know. I'll bring that up a little bit later. The women's tournament. I've been watching a lot of the women's tournament. Now, I watched the University of Maryland, beat up on Notre Dame yesterday afternoon. Like I said, Notre Dame is not a bad team. University of Maryland is superior. Very, very good. But their next step, they have to play South Carolina. And Dawn Staley versus my girl Brenda Fries. It's going to be very, very tough for University of Maryland. But I'm still rooting for them, and hopefully they can get in. Got to give big props to the University of Miami. Miami has both their men and their women in the Elite Eight. It's really good for them. All right. Also, news and notes. Poo-poo of the week. We got police blotter. WBC, I know we're going to talk about Shohei versus Mike Trout. And I'm going to get in some baseball on the other side. And also, I got something that I want to say. Get off Mike Trout's back. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Not too much stuff going on in the NBA. They're still jockeying for position. NHL is coming down to it. And like I said, my Devils and my Kings, my Golden Knights, they looking pretty good. I might mention a little bit of something on that. A little something on that. Shouts is today because this is the last weekend of the month. We're recording this on the 26th. So this is the last one. So I will have shouts a little bit later in the podcast. All right, so let's get it started. I actually went out and got some coffee before I started. And now everyone is up. So lucky me. Usually I do this when they're asleep, because then I can have some peace and quiet, but probably won't happen now because they are up. All right. I do have, if you hear this clicking in the background, it's just me clicking my computer, trying to find stuff, and that's what I do while I'm talking to you guys. I can multitask a little bit, but I just wanted to tell you guys that I am doing my job, making sure that I'm talking to you and making sure that you guys are definitely the most important thing. All right, so tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a short little break here, and then when I come back, I will have the Guru's Always Right, and we will definitely continue on. Episode 159 of the Guru Talkin Sports Podcast. We are just getting started, and like I said, matter of fact, I had to go back out and get some more coffee and check on them because I know that there's something going on. Matter of fact, on the other side, I'll tell you about our trip to the vet yesterday, and that was very interesting, but to say the least. Anyway, you guys hang tight. This is episode 159 of the Guru Talkin Sports Podcast. I'll be back on the other side. I will be always right, which I am. And then we'll start everything. We'll get into it. You guys hold tight. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me on this Sunday morning. Like I said, this is episode 159. And here we go. Voice actress lady is here.
You're listening to the Guru Talking Sports Podcast.
But we'll see. Karma is going to catch up with Alabama. Mark my words. And believe me, the Guru is always right on these things. That's what I said. And like I told you before, the Guru is always right. I told you that karma will catch up with Alabama, and it did. But anyway, I don't want you guys to think that I hate Alabama as a program. I hate. That's not what it comes down to. When I'm talking in this sense. Oh, I hit the microphone. I'm sorry. When I'm talking in this sense, I'm talking about sports hate. Personal hate is not involved in this. There's no personal hate or ill will feelings towards Alabama or anyone in the Alabama staff or Alabama as a college as well. Sports hate is different. You know, I can go around and say, well, I hate this, I hate that, and it'll create a situation of disliking towards people personally or things personally. That's not what it is with sports. If I say I hate something in sports, it's not personally attached to a person or it's a institutional thing. What I'm trying to explain to you and say to you is that when I hate something in sports, it's only about sports. It's not about anything else. I wanted to say that because I did get a couple people that, touched base with me this week and said, why do you hate them? I don't hate them personally. It is a sports thing. We all have certain things in sports that we hate. We don't like. The Yankees hate the Red Sox. The Philadelphia hates Dallas. Those type of things. It's only sports related. It's nothing personal. Like I said before with this Alabama team, I knew that this pressure would get to, this team. I knew that. It didn't get to them with Maryland. They beat Maryland, but San Diego State had their number. And like I said, I am so glad that I was right in that sense. Now they can go back home and they can figure this stuff out. Like I said, I don't hate any person per take, per se, but like I try to explain to you guys that, the gurus see these things. Gurus not coming out of left field or anything like that. I know these things. All right. Now, like I said, I wanted to, look at my bracket. You know what? This is my bracket right now. Trash. Throw it in the trash can over there. All right? This is my bracket. I think, here's what I had as the Final Four. I had Arizona, Marquette, Texas, and UCLA. None of those are there. Or except for Texas. I had Texas winning in this bracket. I had two brackets. I only played two brackets. I didn't get into, the 10 or 11 that I usually play or whatever years ago. I was telling my Caden Guru yesterday that in 2002 and 2003, I was damn near perfect. I didn't have a perfect bracket, but I did pick the two champions, and those years was University of Maryland in 2002 and Syracuse in 2003. And like I said, I like both programs. I picked them on their runs, and I'm glad that they came in back to back to where, I like those teams. Those are my two. I like I said, I got a lot of teams in the in college basketball because I like these teams. I like Baylor, I like UCLA, I like Georgetown, and congratulations to Ed Cooley for getting the Georgetown gig. That was a big hire, and the Providence athletic director was so upset. Why did he take another program in our conference? He can't take another program in our conference. He did it. Why? He's crying. Shut up, will you? You know what? That was a great hire for Georgetown. You know, the NCAA, this has been a phenomenal March Madness. I've never seen anything like this, and it's probably the greatest March Madness of all time. You know, we already got Florida Atlantic going into the championship, going into the Final Four, and, it's amazing. You got UConn that probably flew under the radar for a lot of people. I did watch a little bit of UConn earlier this year, when they played Villanova and, when they was, going down a little bit, and, they won 14 straight, lost 6 in a row. And like I said, hey, UConn is really good. This team is really good. Texas, I would like to see them make it. We got to figure out what Texas is going to do. They'd have to play Creighton. They have to play Creighton. They play Miami. I'm sorry. Texas and Miami today, And, you got San Diego State and Creighton today. So, it's a lot. It's a lot, These teams are really good. And, like I was mentioning about Florida Atlantic, I knew they were there. They hovered around the 23, 24, 25 spot in the polls all year long. They've won 30 some odd games. This team is really, really good. And I did mention to you guys a while back, I'm not going to, keep going on and on and on about, what they did and all. But the thing about it is that I told you guys a long time ago, you got to watch out for this Florida Atlantic team. I didn't really see Miami doing anything. But you know what? Miami's good. Miami is really good. I told you about Coach Larinaga. That's how I want to pronounce. Coach Larinaga and his boys are really, really good. These guys are really good. So, March Madness, it has been madness. It has been madness. But anyway, going back to Georgetown, and like I was saying, like I told you, I take this turn, I go down the straight line, then I turn around and come all the way around to back to where I needed to be. Now I'm back to where I needed to be. Okay, like I was saying, college basketball is good when Syracuse is good. North Carolina, Georgetown, all the blue bloods and all the big time programs. But you know what? It's not there this year. It's not there. We got to give it up for Princeton. We got to give it up for Fairleigh Dickinson, Furman, Florida Atlantic, all the little schools. And now we got a Final Four that, has a Florida Atlantic University. We might see Texas, Miami. We might see San Diego State reaching a Final Four. We don't know. But I tell you one thing. UConn looked good last night. Timmy got in trouble, got in foul trouble, and they just couldn't handle it. They just couldn't handle it. And what I see from UConn, they basically just manhandled them. And number 24, I can't think of his name right off. He was just draining shots like it was 3-pointers, like it was going out of style. They look good. I'm not surprised. And like I said, I'm not going to make any excuses about my bracket because my bracket is trash and I just threw it in the trash. We don't know who's going to win this thing. We don't know. But see, even though I don't have a real solid rooting root interest in any of the teams left. Really, they're not really, teams that I usually root for. I'm just going to enjoy it just the same. Because this is, like I said, this is March Madness, and this has been an insane March Madness, which is really good, because that's what you want. All right, like I said, I'm going to talk about the women's side right quick, and try to get some women's stuff in here. Now, like I said, I'm not saying this just because, this is Women's History Month, and, like I said, we celebrate women all the time around here. It's ridiculous just to talk Women's History Month, just in general, for 1 month. No, everybody has. We have to talk about all our women all the time. So, all right. So, like I said, the women's game looked good yesterday. I like Brenda Fries. Brenda Fries is probably one of my favorite women coaches, and there's a lot of them out there. Kim Mulkey. I want to say this. I don't know what the hell that she was wearing the other night. I don't know what it was. Something with pink. I don't know what pink. Oh my gosh. I don't know what it was that she was wearing the other night, but it was really different and kind of weird. All right, I can say that. Weird, really weird. But that's Kim Mulkey. She's different. LSU coach. Like I said, I really like Maryland. Maryland. Brenda Fries is probably one of my favorite coaches. Like I told you guys, Brenda Fries is my favorite women's coach. She is basically a warrior. She's a warrior. I remember when she came out and she was actually coaching when she was pregnant. That was something else. Just trying to deal, women dealing with pregnancy. I don't know. It's a hard thing. But the thing about it is that she was like running up and down the sidelines, coaching. Running up and down the coaching while she was pregnant. It was remarkable. And she, like I said, she's a great coach. She always has her players back, and she's always one of the, she's great. She's great. And she's been with Maryland for 21 years now. And like I said, she led the ladies to the next step, and the next step is going to be very hard because she's going to have to play against Dawn Staley's South Carolina team, which is a juggernaut. They just rolled UCLA yesterday, and that's going to be a matchup that's coming up on tomorrow night. I might be able to, and I might not be able to watch it, but I tell you, this is going to be an epic matchup. Brenda Fries against Dawn Staley. Epic matchup. Like I said before, I wanted to mention something about the University of Maryland. They have a great dynamic duel, and their dynamic duel consists of Cheyenne Sellers and Diamond Miller. These two ladies are amazing. And did you know that Cheyenne Sellers is the daughter of Brad Sellers? If you remember the NBA, Eddie, Brad Sellers played for Chicago Bulls in their heyday. He was on that team with Michael Jordan and Steve Kerr, all those guys. Brad Sellers' daughter, and we saw Brad in the stands yesterday, and Look good. Sitting back cheering on his daughter. Really, really good. Good to see Brad Sellers. And good to see Cheyenne. Cheyenne is really good. She's really good. Both her and Diamond Miller had 18 points yesterday. And Maryland just cruised to a 76-59 win over Notre Dame. And like I said, it's going to be an uphill battle because they got to play South Carolina next. And South Carolina's no joke. They are no joke. Believe me. And the thing about South Carolina, which makes them good, is that Dawn Staley is probably one of the best coaches, one of the premier new coaches that are up and coming, and basically, she's there. I like UCLA in sports, but I tell you what, they just couldn't match up. Just couldn't match up with South Carolina. One lady on South Carolina, Bria Beal, she had 10 points yesterday in that win. But the thing about it is that they got bench players that are awesome. They got awesome bench players. Hall and Carruto, I'm sorry, I messed her name up. Cardoso. Let's call it Cardoso. I mean, both of them had 10 points off the bench. UCLA, I love them, but, they were led by Osborne, 14 points. But still, they can't match up with these South Carolina. It's going to be tough. Good luck to Maryland tomorrow. Definitely going to need it. All right. Well, like I said, you talked the women's game, and like I said, the women's game is a little bit different. And I like I said, I enjoy it. I watch. I'm a big WNBA guy. I love watching the WNBA, and like I said, women's basketball is really good sport. And it's good to see because, like I said, these young ladies are going to go into the WNBA and make a life for themselves. When we think about great WNBA players, I do want to mention Elena Delle Donne. Elena Delle Donne, from here, Delaware, great player, one of the greatest basketball players of all time. And, she played for this little small school called the University of Delaware. Got to give her credit, But like I said, this is the thing. Watching all these games with the ladies, the men's, stuff like that, it gives you more, I just enjoy watching great games. So, all right, so we go in that, and tell you the truth, we really don't have any news. I don't really have too much news and notes right now. I know there's probably going to be something that I'm going to have to go back and say, gosh, I wish I could have put that one in, put that in. But I do want to mention the poo-poo of the week. Poo-poo of the week has got to be Ezekiel Elliott for thinking that he has made a choice of the three teams that he want to go to when there's those three teams say that we don't really want nothing to do with you. All right, so Ezekiel Elliott got cut by Dallas. They franchise tagged Tony Pollard so Tony Pollard can stay, and they release Zeke. I don't think nobody wants him because he's going to be demanding a gigantic salary, and I don't think too many teams don't really need him. Yeah, the Eagles lost Miles Sanders, but yet and still, Philadelphia said, "No, we're good. We got players that we need. We're good. Goodbye. No, thank you, Zeke. Jets are like, we're pretty good. My man Brees Hall, if he comes back healthy, they got, Ty Bam Johnson, we're good. Cincinnati was like, we're good too. We don't need you. We still got Joe Mixon. So, it's going to be hard for Zeke. So, hopefully he can find a home somewhere. Jacksonville really don't need him. Raiders really don't need him. So, we'll see. And I like Ezekiel Elliott. He's an Ohio State guy, But I'm not sure what his thinking was when he said, hey, I got a wish list of the 3 teams I want to play for. And the 3 teams said, no way. We're not. We're good. We're good. It's crazy. All right. So, one other thing I do want to mention before we go to halftime, and like I said, in the other half, we're going to talk some baseball, and definitely going to have to talk some baseball. Like I mentioned before, we have this new thing that I was kind of mentioning. It was called a police blotter. Police blotter is something that I do, and we do, is when we talk about situations of athletes and situations with everybody. You never know, athletes or whoever in the world of sports that get in trouble. And now I want to introduce to you for the first time the police blotter. Not that. Not that. All right. I'm sorry. We're going to introduce to you for the first time ever the police blotter official siren. And let me see if I can get it up here. All right, just give me 1 second. All right, that's the police blotter official siren for, if you can hear that. You want to play it again? All right. All right. Anyway, I'm playing around. Police blotter for this week. Oh boy, we got a situation down in Arizona, and Arizona Coyotes minority owner Andrew Barway was suspended indefinitely by the NHL on Friday, this past Friday, following his arrest for domestic violence in Colorado. I say this all the time. We don't know these people. We don't know anybody. He was arrested on the suspicion of second-degree assault, strangulation, a felony, a third-degree assault, and a misdemeanor. What is wrong with these people? I'm not, like I said, I don't like to go into all the legal stuff because I'm not a legal guy or, judge or anything like that. I just don't understand how, some of these things are going to catch up with you, and some of these things are not right. Why the hell do you do them? Why the hell do you do them? You can't strangle anybody. You can't be, putting your hands around anyone's neck, trying to strangle them. It's not cool. And it's not going to work. So, I just don't understand. Again, like I said, I can talk about this till I'm blue in the face, and I still won't understand why. But you know what? These athletes and owners and, sports figures, You got to remember, you're not above the law. So I think I'm going to close this right quick, this segment. Every single time I'm just going to say, you are not above the law. So you cannot do the stupid things that you do. You know? So you got to remember, you can't do these things. Can't do these things. Be smart, be efficient, do the right thing. Stay out of trouble. And I won't have to play that siren again. But anyway, I like playing that siren. That siren's pretty cool. I think there's different variations of the siren I did go through before came on the air. I wanted to make sure that I made sure that I got those in. All right, like I said, not too much in the NBA. They're still jockeying for position right now. NHL, same thing. But we do have something special coming up on Thursday. Thursday is opening day in Major League Baseball. And like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the break. Take a short break. I'm going to come back and we're definitely going to talk, and I kind of run these words together, I know. I get excited and I start talking and everything. But anyway, we're definitely going to talk about some baseball. And what I got, one of these things that I'm going to talk about is that you guys got to get off of Mike Trout's back. You know, leave the guy alone. The guy is doing what he wants to do. But anyway,
you're listening to the Guru.
Not yet, voice actress lady. I appreciate you, but not yet. All right, just give me 1 second. I know. Give me 1 second. Anyway, what I was saying is that get off Mike Trout's back. I'm gonna definitely talk about that on the other side. But like I said, I wanted to make sure that the voice actress lady was ready. And I think she's ready. She's telling me now that she wants to go to the break. But anyway, like I said, you guys, appreciate you for listening. And this is episode 159 of the Guru Talking Sports Podcast. Like I mentioned before, I'm definitely going to have to talk to Mr. Dave May Jr. And we're going to have to talk some baseball further. And talk about what we're going to see this year. And I know that, like I said, a couple episodes back, we had to talk about the, changes. But we're definitely going to talk about the teams in general and find out what's going on in baseball, who to look for, who to do these, all the things that's going to go on in baseball. So, anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'll be right back. We're going to come back on the other side, and we're going to talk about the WBC and everything and how that affected everybody. You guys take it easy. Give me a second. Be right back. You're listening to episode 159 of the Guru Talking Sports Podcast. Now you ready, voice actress lady? She's giving me the sign, and here we go.
You're listening to the Guru Talking Sports Podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Guru Talking Sports Podcast, episode 159. All right, we're going to talk some baseball. WBC, we saw Japan win the championship in the WBC, and we did see one of the greatest situations that you'll ever see. Mike Trout versus Shohei Ohtani. I look at it this way. Japan is very, very good. And the United States is very good, too, in baseball. And, I just have to say that, I really do like the WBC. And despite throw out everything I said before or whatever, I don't know. The WBC had a lot of mixed emotions for it this year. I was talking to Dave this past week, and he said that, should do it just like hockey. Maybe how about shutting down the season for a couple weeks? Maybe have to start the season a little bit earlier because you never know. You really don't want to see baseball going into late November, early December or whatever. I don't know. I'm not sure. But, like I said, when I do talk to him, we'll talk about these things and, what is a good time frame for the WBC. Because, looking at it, in a way of bringing it in at the beginning of the season, it's kind of hard because, some of these guys are, just came back off of, vacation or, being off or whatever, and they're going into spring training not really ready to play these WBC games. So I'm not sure when is a good time to have it. Is it having it in the middle of the season or after the season? It depends. So if you have it after the season, if somebody gets hurt, let's say, i.e., Edwin Diaz or Jose Altuve, that might be able, then they have the whole off season to recover from this. But like I said, I'm not sure what time frame is a good time frame for this. All right, going back. WBC, I thought it was great. We did get to see the marquee matchup, and I thought it was like baseball history to me. A lot of people say, it wasn't no big deal. Whatever. But, I'm a baseball guy. I'm a baseball purist to where I don't care if it's, a World Series game or a WBC game. That was a great matchup. To see Shohei go up against Mike Trout. That was something else. That was really, really great. So we'll never know. We'll never know what, we might not ever see this again. Not unless Shohei goes to another team or Mike Trout goes to another team. So I don't know. Mike Trout probably not is going to leave the Angels, But, you never know. We never know. But I thought the WBC was great to see. The matchup with Shohei and Mike Trout. It didn't come off the way we wanted to come off because Mike Trout didn't hit a home run or get a base hit or whatever. Struck out on 3 pitches. It's okay. But the thing about it is that you can't really... Mike Trout is still one of the greatest ball players I ever seen. The modern day Mickey Mantle. That's what everybody says. He's a great player. And I wish that people would get off his back talking about why he's so great and we haven't really seen anything. Leave the damn man alone. He's great. Like I said, I know that he plays on the West Coast where everybody, when we're asleep in the East Coast, they're still playing and we don't get a chance to see too much of him or whatever. You know what? It doesn't matter. Get off the guy's back, man. Mike Trout is one of the greatest ball players I've seen. Brooks Robinson, Hank Aaron, Frank Robinson, who else? Roberto Clemente. These are guys I've seen in my lifetime. And, Willie Stargell, I love Willie Stargell. Willie Stargell was something else. I love that wind-up that he had. That was like one of the greatest. Dave Parker. All these great guys. Mike Trout is in that, upper echelon for me. Mariano Rivera, pitchers and all that stuff. I like I said, Mike Trout is one of the greatest of all time for me. But the thing is, get off his back. Yes, he does play in California. But you know what? I'm gonna give you some facts. Bust the facts on these. The dude has never been in trouble. You never hear about anything bad that anyone has to say about this guy. Like I said, we don't know these guys. You're right. We don't know these guys. But the thing about it is that Mike Trout is a superstar. And he's a quiet superstar. Get off the man's back. I I understand that the Angels aren't that great, and they only win about 71 games a year, and, they never make the playoffs. We never see them on the big stage or whatever. And, they always say, well, what about his career? What great hit or, leave the guy alone. He's a great ball player. Even though that he doesn't want to jump ship or go to the Dodgers or go to the Mets or go to the Yankees or go to any team that's like already there, a finished product, and, could put them over the top. Mike Trout wants to stay in Los Angeles and do his thing. And I got to give him respect for it. It goes back to the old school adage of playing in one market. Not being traded multiple times or so, trying to find the golden ticket to where you can get in and help a team win. Mike Trout stayed. Hey, they gave him Albert Pujols for a little bit. They got Shohei Ohtani on him, on his team right now. Get off the guy's back. He's doing what he's doing. And I don't have a problem with him staying in Los Angeles with the Angels and trying to help them win. And I heard something stupid the other day. Mike Trout doesn't promote himself more. You know what? Why does he have to promote himself? Major League Baseball should be promoting these guys. It's not his job to go out and promote himself to make people know who he is. If he was walking down the street, I would recognize him. I know him because, like I said, I know baseball. And I know him. And I know what type of player he is. The great, one of the greatest players of our time right now. Get off Mike Trout's back. Please. I get tired of hearing all this stuff about, well, why doesn't he go to a winning team? Or why doesn't he promote himself? Or why? You know what? Leave the guy alone. He's doing his thing. I mean, even if he doesn't win a World Series title, he's still great to me. I don't have a problem with Mike Trout. I don't have a problem with any player that wants to do his thing in one market and not jump from team to team to team to team and try to do it the right way. That's what he's trying to do. I mean, look at all the players that, was great with one team and didn't win a World Series championship. One of the players I think about is Dale Murphy. He did play for Atlanta and he played for Phillies. But Dale Murphy is probably one of the guys that I look at as being a Hall of Famer as well. Other is Thurman Munson. Thurman Munson should be in the Hall of Fame, no doubt. I love Thurman Munson. I think I was, little guy. I cried when he, it was just a tragedy when I heard about, what happened to him. And, like I said, I'm a baseball guy and I'm a real guy. And I feel for, guys that, like Roberto Clemente and, Thurman Munson and all like that, leave us too soon, But please, get off of Mike Trout's back. Get off his back, dude. Get off his back. Whoever. It was, and listening to all this rhetoric about, well, what makes him so great? He didn't do anything. He struck out against Ohtani. Ohtani's better. Oh, gosh, man. Leave him alone. Leave the guy alone. All right. I'm done with that. All right, so, tell you what. I'm going to talk about Willis Reed, and I'm going to talk about Lance Riddick. Because we lost a legend. We lost a legend in basketball this week. Willis Reed was, great player. Great player. Quiet player. And see, I like him because he spent his whole career. I do like guys that spend their whole career in one place and don't move around, jumping from ship to ship to ship to try to find, better, greener grass. Kobe is an example. Willis Reed. I like players like that. Larry Bird, Brooks Robinson. Any player that stays with one team for the longest time for their whole career has respect for me. Tim Duncan, in any sport, I really respect that. That's loyalty, sports loyalty. And I talked about sports hate earlier. Sports loyalty is staying with one franchise team. Hall of Famer, two-time NBA champ, all defensive team, 69-70, 75th anniversary team, 50th anniversary team. One of the greatest players of all time. His cousin is Orlando Woolridge. Remember Orlando Woolridge played with the Bulls and everything? That's his cousin. Made his debut October 17th, 1964. Went into the Hall of Fame in 1982. And when he went in, he was in there with Larry Costello. Forget that. I read something wrong. Anyway, I'm looking at the Hall of Fame classes from all those times. Let me see. I'm going to go back and look at his Hall of Fame class. Frank Ramsey, Slater Martin, Hal Greer, which was a pretty good player. Clarence Gaines, Alva DeVere, and Everett Chase. That was the 1982 class, Hall of Fame class. That's what we went in as. Hal Greer went in as a player and most noted name. Willis Reed was a giant, and very well respected. And like I said, I really liked him, and he was just a good player, hard-nosed player, rebounding and everything, and the heart and soul of that championship team for the Knicks back in the early 70s, And we lost, like I said, we lost a legend. He was a legend. You go back to some of these teams, and I'm looking over his career. Great career. Great career. Rebounding numbers are off the chain. Off the chain. Averaged about 12 rebounds per game, which isn't bad. He played against Will Chamberlain, and they talk about the game 5 when he got hurt in the 70 championship. He got that torn thigh muscle. He happened, and then he limped out on the court for Game 7, and it's remarkable. It's remarkable. And, I wanted to mention something that I heard also about Willis Reed on earlier this week. Said something about where, Dan Lebertard, I'll call him out. I call out people where, they need to be called out. Dan Lebertard said, so what? It was just a New York thing in those type of words. It was only big news because it was a New York thing. No, it was a basketball thing. And, you're wrong because, if this would have happened in New York, Los Angeles, Miami, or anywhere else, it would have been big news. But it was during a time where, hey, it was it was one of those times where it was no social media, no cameras, no Instagram, no Twitter, nothing like that. That's why it was so remarkable. And the thing about it is that Willis Reed is one of the greatest players of all time. Averaged 18 points per game, averaged 12 rebounds per game, almost 13 rebounds per game. God was amazing. God was amazing. Rest in peace, Willis Reed, and one of the greatest basketball players. We ain't got that many left now. If you look at it, Oscar Robertson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bob Cousy is still around. We don't have that many. Now we're looking at Dr. J and who else? I can't even think of any right off now. But like I said, we don't have that many legends left. So we have to honor our legends when we get a chance. So rest in peace to Willis Reed. The other person I wanted to mention is Lance Riddick. Lance Riddick was a actor, 60-year-old actor. You might, like I said, you might not remember who he is, but he passed away this on the 17th, like I mentioned before. He was one of those guys that you might not know his name, but he's recognizable because of who he was and his impact. Lance Riddick was a Baltimorean. Yeah, and like I said, I have to give it up for Baltimore when I have to. My hometown has to get big props always because that's my hometown. Anyway, Lance Riddick was a great actor, and you might have, like I said, he was police captain in The Wire, but you might remember him from Kong versus Godzilla versus Kong. I said it backwards or whatever. John Wick, he was in all the John Wick flicks. The game Destiny 1, 2, if I played that game and I remember hearing his voice in that. The Blacklist, Bosch, Young Sheldon, and like I said, most noted for the Wire. And it's just a shock when you see great actors and everything, kind of pass away and all. But he died of natural causes, and I just hate to see him leave us so soon. I have to, just have to try to get myself together because he was a great actor, and like I said, I didn't know him, but we're right around the same age, and matter of fact, he was about 6 months older than me, so it hits home when you see these actors and stuff like that pass away right around your age and all, and He was a great actor. Great actor. Alright, so what I'm going to do is take a little break, and I'll be back. And we're going to end this thing with shouts. And we're going to go to, we're going to get out of here because I have got to get this out. I'm a little bit late. I'm usually right around 9 o'clock or so getting this out. And it's almost about that time. So I definitely want to get it out and get it to you guys and make sure that you guys listen. And I really appreciate you listening. So we'll be right back. And we're going to do shouts and we're going to get out of here. So voice actress lady is going to take us out to our last break. And we'll be right back. This is episode 159 of the Guru Talkin Sports Podcast. Here's voice actress lady right now.
You're listening to the Guru Talking Sports Podcast.
Alright guys, we're back. Episode 159. I'm going to wrap this up. If you can hear it in the background, a little girl dog is barking. That's why I usually do this very, very early in the morning, so I won't have to hear anything. And like I said, no distractions or so. But you hear her. Alright, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the particulars first, and then I'm going to do the Hey song, and then I'm going to give you some shouts. Alright, we're going to roll this thing and wrap it up. You can find us on YouTube under the Guru of Sports Show on YouTube. Facebook, you can find me under Gurus Briscoe, and that is my Facebook page. And Facebook is also at Gurus Daily Shorts. IG, Guru Talking Sports _podcast on IG. Gmail is Guru Daily Shorts at gmail.com. Twitter, I didn't give it to you last week. I don't know why, because I was, I'm the guru and I forget things. Alright, Guru is MACK _GTSBB39. That is the official podcast Twitter page. You can find that on that Twitter page at let me see. Let me get it right for you. Make sure that it's the right thing. I don't want to give you wrong information. All right. It is definitely at MACK. Oh no, I'm a mess, and especially it's coming towards the end. MACK GTS _BB39 on Twitter. Okay. Mac GTS _BB39 on Twitter. Alright, I'm sorry. Alright, like I said, a little bit tired still, trying to get the stuff together. Alright, you can find us on Spreaker, which is the main vessel that we come out of. Spotify, Podchasers, iTunes, iHeartRadio, anywhere that you can get your podcast. We definitely appreciate it. You can subscribe to it. And like I said, we are, we're out there. We're all over the place. And we're doing a lot of different countries and everything, but I wanted to let you guys know that we appreciate, your comments and everything, especially when, people comment and send stuff to me saying that I forget stuff and, you're crazy or whatever. Yeah, I appreciate that. I love that. I appreciate that. You do anything to, interact with me, I'll definitely interact with you, and I will give you your feedback as well. But I appreciate your, the interaction, and I appreciate all the comments, good or bad. I appreciate it. It's a good thing. Thank you. All right. I want to give some props, big props to people that are close to me, and I really appreciate. Miss Mary Mack, the Mary Mack Show on Grief. Find her at www.marymack.info. and check out her website, Grief Authority. Good stuff. Great person. Always back her. And like I said, hey, one of our women that we have to, make sure that we, give big props to. Women in general every single day. Not just 1 month out of the year. Jeff Duarte, my man, Cali Sports News. Appreciate you. I try to reach out to him. I know he's busy. Very busy. He's a hockey guy. And I know this is, about the best time for him right now. Hockey season is wrapping up and the playoffs are coming. My cousin Curtis and his grandson, the young GM. I love that podcast. That podcast is awesome. Talking football, he's really good. They're really good. And I'm really, my congratulations to them. They do a really, really good job with their podcast. My baseball insider, Mr. Dave May Jr., I'm going to try to get in touch with him today. I'm going to see if we can sit down and we can talk about the upcoming season on Thursday. Looking forward to, getting rid of this, all this bad weather. And, like I'm looking outside right now. It's sunny outside. Looks good. Hopefully this, warm weather can come and take away all this bad stuff that we've been having, all these bad rains and, unpredictable wind and all that other crap. Get rid of all that. Baseball season is here. That's the best time of the year for me. March Madness and baseball season, I love it. The start of any, sports season is very, very important and very, very, the best that we definitely love that. So, my baseball insider, Mr. Dave May Jr., we're going to, get in touch with him as well. We appreciate him. And also, the last person I want to mention, that's not inside the actual crew is my man, Danny Rivera. Danny is a Hall of Famer to me, a hip-hop Hall of Famer, and like I said, very, very good guy. And like I said, I'm definitely, I'm going to get, I try to hook up everybody in my crew. Definitely I'll try to hook up everybody in my crew. But Danny, I got you covered. And I know we talk all the time, but I appreciate you, Mr. Danny Rivera, my hip-hop legend, and I really appreciate him. All right. My crew is that works on this, Caden Guru, you ought to see him. He's a little man. He's getting pumped up. Yeah, I'm just like really proud of him, man. He's got a new hairstyle and he's all, looking sharp. He's a chip off the old block. Speaking about another chip off the old block, my oldest, and he's actually Guru Jr., my man Dante Guru. Love you, man. I can't wait to come down to, I'm going to Dallas. I'm letting you guys know now. I'm going to Dallas for a special occasion. And like I said, it's going to be fun. I don't know when. I know I'm going in September sometime. But I'll definitely keep you guys posted on that. The first thing I want to do when I get to Dallas, I want to ride around and look at all the stuff down there and maybe take some pictures of like a horse ranch or whatever. But I'm definitely going down to Dallas and I'm getting me a cowboy hat. So I want you guys to know that. So when I come back and I'm going to be on that plane, I'm going to be coming back on that plane. I'm going to be coming off that plane with a black cowboy hat. And that'll piss off the Eagle fans even more. I know. It'll be in September too. All right. Ray Guru is our musical engineer. Appreciate you, Ray Guru. And like I said, my former co-host, and he's resting in heaven right now, is Mr. Cousin Aaron. And like I said, I always put this chair right here, right next to me, because pay honor and homage to him, because I know that, if I wasn't doing this, he would have been kicking my butt to keep this thing going and keep his memory going. I mention him every podcast, and I thank him for his memory. The motto is saying is that we don't hate, we congratulate, we always create, and we don't steal from anybody. We don't. You know, I just got a little touched up when I was talking about Cousin Aaron right there for a second. It's probably like a really emotional episode, and I know Willis Reed, Lance Riddick, and then talking about Cousin Aaron, it really gets me, you know, sometimes. This has been a Black Goat production for Black Goat Sports. All rights reserved 2023, all rights reserved. You know, we use the hashtag Big Props and Guru Talkin Sports. I think I'm going to make some t-shirts that says Big Props to the Guru and, you know, to the crew. If you guys want one, just let me know. I'll definitely get the shirts out to my friends and my, you know, peeps and all. All right, shout out time, and let's have some hey music. Let's go. Here it is. All right, shout out to Bella B, my man Jeff in Southland, my man Rick in Buffalo, Mel, appreciate you. Dixieland Dan, appreciate you. Senor Panley, Reed, my man, appreciate you as well. My man Upside Down Mike, Lori, Adriana, congratulations on the baby. We appreciate you, and like I said, if you need anything from the Guru, just let me know. I will definitely, keep you in my prayers and keep your family in prayer. And it's good to know that, you know, you got a lot of people that love you and care about you. And, you know, even though the baby might grow up as a San Francisco fan, I know that, you know, you'll steer her over to the Seattle side. I know. My man Rob, I appreciate you. Justin, JD, Dave Shepard, appreciate you. All the people on Facebook that I know, Charlie, Chris, Kate, Denise Hyde, Jeff Brown, Keith Stewart, Keith George, my man Big Al and Kareem, Jamie Dorsey, Mike Fox, my cousin Dave, my Uncle Gary, Mike Fox, Kevin Ryder, appreciate you guys. Elizabeth Fielder, I appreciate my cousin Elizabeth, my cousin Debbie, appreciate you. Let's see, who else? Everybody out there that we mentioned, even if I don't mention you, I always appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Miss Ann, Anya Myers, Ashley Holt, Elizabeth Fielder, Sheila Brooks, Gerard Pinkney, Cousin Aaron's, all of his friends and everything, we appreciate you. After the Hey song, we're going to say, we'll see you next week with episode 160. Or episode 160 might be a baseball episode. Well, I'm going to try to get in touch with Dave a little bit later. And we'll, figure out what that is. Maybe 161 will be another regular episode. We'll see you. Like I said, we got a lot of stuff going on. Good luck on trying to figure out that bracket and March Madness. Baseball season coming up Thursday. We love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening. We will see you soon. The Guru will see you real soon. The Guru, like I said, we're always right. So, later.